We're here 5 years later.
5 years.
Does it feel like 5 years?
It does feel like 5 years. It's been an interesting 5 years.
It's been a very interesting 5 years. So going into this, what did you expect?
Well, it's a great question. I didn't know what to expect, and you know me well enough that you know that I don't start with the idea that I should talk to the public all the time and do these kinds of things. But it became clear to me as I was moving into this role, there are a lot of stories that need to be told and needed to be told. And I had no idea, we had no idea what 2020, 21 were going to be like. And this was something that we thought about before we got into that time period and decided that our associates need to hear from me, our associates need to hear from different people in the organization. And I wanted also our associates to be highlighted. The best part of my job is getting to meet people all over the country and see the things that they've done, hear about their successes and their stories. And it's really important that so many people know that so many of us started in a store or a distribution center, moved to the United States at some point in their life, and they've accomplished things that in many cases, and me included, never thought they would have. And it's been just a privilege to be able to tell their stories and talk to our whole team about some really important issues. Yeah,
so we've had 5 seasons, 87 episodes, which is incredible. What are some of those that stick out the most to you?
I think a couple. Fortunately, our viewers wouldn't have seen this, but one, when we were working remote, we had we call it the fire detector issue, where every time I would talk, the ceiling would beep and I would remove that one and take the battery out, and then another one would do it. I think most people have lived through that at some point. Had another where we thought the building was empty, and this is an interview, a little different than this forum, but nevertheless, someone decided to use a chainsaw on the roof in the middle of it. Those are memorable. So those are the funny ones.
Those are the bloopers you don't see behind the scenes.
They're the funny ones, and we do have fun, and we just figure out how to make things work. But there are a lot. Having a Medal of Honor recipient on was amazing for me and so inspiring. Getting to have someone like Dan Bartlett on the anniversary of their date 9/11, and Dan was so involved in it to help just give you context. And then just recently the pharmacist that we promoted to pharmacy manager, OB. Those are great. There's just so many. And it changes a lot. I mean, the world changes, and we talk about a lot internally here. We have to keep up or stay ahead of where the world is, or the world can leave you behind. And it's a competitive business. Then you're constantly in the need of understanding what's happening in the world and what's happening with customers and what customers are doing, what's inspiring them. And so for me personally, getting to talk to some of these guests along the way helps inform me about what we can do to become an even better business.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. We were chatting yesterday, just even the evolution of the format, right? We started in this very room, and then everything was Zoom for a couple years, and then we were in stores with masks, socially distanced, and then we were able to do some on-site visits like Veronica and Edgar Moreno. That's being in the community and seeing the true positive impact that Walmart has.
It is. It's amazing. And Veronica and Edgar, such an amazing story. I had actually the opportunity to talk about her story years before I got to meet her. It was in our shareholders meeting, and it's a fun experience. Thousands of people come into Northwest Arkansas from around the world, and we told our story through the lens of what it is to make a taco. And you need shells, and you need protein, and you need the vegetables, and you have to move it through supply chains, and you need to track it. And I had talked about the tortilla shell that was started by Veronica Moreno. And then it was a couple years later, I got to meet her, and her story of making her husband lunch every day, fresh, which led to seeing a store manager in the state of Georgia and asking him what it would take to sell this product. And now it is a huge business. It's a huge brand all over the country. And it's just a great example of the opportunity that exists because of people, suppliers, entrepreneurs, relationships with Walmart, and getting to enable those kinds of stories is fantastic and really rewarding.
Well, something I think is really incredible about you is he can remember every name, every face, the store number, where you met them, how long they've been with the company. Why is it so important to you to truly make those connections and build those relationships? It's a big job. There's a lot of associates, but you are so intentional about that. Why is it important to you?
Well, I'm a Walmart associate first.
Yeah.
And I have been for a long time. And I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. And that happens to all of us. I love music and all these different things. I'm really curious and I'm constantly trying to learn something new. I was with a group just a couple days ago. And I told them, and I mean this sincerely, I learn something every day. And a lot of days I learn more than one thing. And that's really fun for me.
Yeah.
But I love when I get to go to a store or DC, and before we go tour the facility or handle whatever agenda we have, I really like to just know the people and tell me your story and where they grew up. And I was in a store in Tyson's Corner just a few months back, maybe it's last year or so. But I think, if I remember the number, over 40 languages spoken in the store, a lot of nationalities, a lot of people that have learned English working at Walmart, people that got their citizenship of working at Walmart, including the store manager. And so those stories are just really inspiring, because what I would love people to know is you can do anything here. You can be the best cashier in the world, you can be a data scientist, you can be a pilot, you can be a manager of facility, you can work in asset protection and security. Just pick the industry, and there's something here for everyone.
Yeah, you can do it here.
You can do
it here at Walmart. How have you personally grown as like John Furner, the guy, the dad, the husband? How have you grown?
Well, the dad part is, as we're in a different point in our lives. Our kids are all out of the house, and I don't know why. I felt a big sense of relief that we have helped our kids become adults, and I've got one I think about to graduate this in a few months.
Fingers crossed.
And a few more that are still in college. One that's out. So there's always the professional, personal journey. They always blend together, and it's about the journey, not about the destination. And it's really important to pay attention and be present as much as you can along the way, because your lifestyle, your life stage changes, and the stage of life for us has changed recently. And then as a leader, I could tell you about years and years of the old me, the older me, the versions that what I've learned over the years, and this really started early about a decade ago. I remember was an epiphany for me in leadership, when I realized it's not about me. It's about the impact we're able to make, and it's about the opportunity that we can create for everyone to live a better life. And that's our purpose, is help people save money and live a better life. There's a video of Sam Walton saying those words the last time he was in the home office. And I watch it time to time just as a reminder, why do we do what we do? And it's to help people save money, and it's to help people live better. And live better can be the career, it can be the time that we give customers back to spend with their family, it can be the value, it can be the quality. There's so many ways we can do that. It can be their health, it can be helping them save money with our fintech. There are just so many opportunities to do that. But having the opportunity to be a part of a team where your personal purpose and the company's purpose are so closely aligned, it makes it feel like it's not work. It's just something I love to do, and we get to call it work.
Well, and people love it. What are some of the things you've heard? You were not an aspiring like TV personality. No. Rock star, yes. You wanted to be a rock star. But
didn't work out.
But what have you heard from folks that have enjoyed this series over the last 5 seasons?
The funniest thing is, I go in a facility and they say, "Oh, you're the guy from the Huddle." Like, great. True.
It means the branding worked. That's
worked.
What that means.
Congratulations to you for doing that. But that wasn't the goal.
Yeah.
The goal was just to try to share a bit of the things that are on my mind, on our mind, what's important to the company, so that the listeners know, and you need to know who your leader is. And for those of you that lead teams, leading is a privilege. It's not, you're not entitled to lead. You can be appointed to leadership and not be accepted as the leader. And in some cases, you may be appointed as the leader by your peers, even though you don't have the title of being the leader. So leadership is something that you have to decide that you want to do, and you take on, and it's a privilege. So if you're not sharing enough about what's important to you and who you are, this void that you leave can be filled in, and it may be a narrative that works against you. Maybe it works for you, maybe it works against you, but I would just encourage leaders to make sure you're sharing and people know what's important. That's the reason we do things like this, the Manager Academy, where we bring managers in almost 3 weeks a month, because they need to know the people that make up the company. It's really important.
Absolutely. And on these episodes, what's interesting, we talked about a couple bloopers, some of our favorite ones, but y'all really get to see the unedited first one and only cut, one hit wonder Ferner over here. But it really is because we just have cameras capturing you being your authentic self. You're always in stores. You're always talking to associates. So it's a natural thing for you. You're very good at it.
Well, thank you. We do a lot of talking. Some days the joke is I get home and I don't want to talk anymore because I don't want to hear myself anymore. But listening is also another way of communicating, and it wasn't always that natural for me. So I had to really learn to practice to be a better listener, and being a better listener is the first step in enabling you to be a better communicator.
Yeah.
And having amazing people, which this team and people around me find. As you know, we've had operators, doctors, we've had suppliers, just some of these amazing stories, and I'm always inspired by how fast they can move. So I love the listening, and the listening enables, in many cases, or I can think of, like, what would be the next question I think perhaps people would want to know about this amazing person.
Yeah. So the real question is, can we expect a season 6?
We can.
Love to hear. You'll be in this chair though. You'll be back as the one interviewing the guest. But today we switched seats.
Yeah, I kind of like this role better. But of course, I do think it's important that all of you get to meet some of the people that the company gets to meet. And I think of it that way. And yes, I get to meet these people, but I'm meeting them on behalf of the company. Yeah. And when you run into these extraordinary stories, extraordinary entrepreneurs, people that have figured out things with technology that haven't been done before, people that think of the most elegant solution for real human problems, or people that you just need to know they're just like a lot of the people listening. They're not sure what they want to do with their lives. They weren't sure what they wanted to do. They found something, and then they became amazing at that thing. And so just encourage people again, find the thing that you're good at, be great at it. Find the thing that you love, call it work. And so I'm looking forward to another year of getting to share more of those stories.
Yes, well, congratulations on 5 seasons of The Huddle, 5 years as Walmart U.S. CEO, and we'll look forward to season 6.
Thanks. See you soon.